Hey everyone, welcome back to another chassis variant video of myself, Critical Rocket. Here we are on the Fafnir, the 5B. This was a variant that was a sort of a retro refit of the Fafnir during the Fedcom Civil War, when the heavy gauss rifles, which were already very difficult to build and quite expensive to produce, with regards to obtaining the parts and obviously the manufacturing processes and stuff, made them very difficult to obtain, and so Fafnirs that were going out into the field with the heavy gauss rifles were hitting one of two snags. Either they were getting damaged and thus would have to be repaired, which meant spare parts were in very short supply, or they were getting destroyed, which means replacing them was nigh impossible, or ammunition was pretty hard to come by anyway. So engineers during the conflict came up with the solution that they could make a variant of the Fafnir that wasn't too difficult to manufacture the parts for. So this basically meant replacing the heavy gauss rifles with dual standard gauss, which is still pretty powerful. They retained the ECM suite, and the extra weight that was freed up allowed them to add more energy weaponry. So you have a bunch more extra ER mediums, and as a sort of, I guess, a way of still maintaining some of that ranged punch, it was given a single ER large laser. So essentially, this means is you get probably the most energy-heavy version of the Fafnir that can still mount pretty powerful ballistic weaponry. And I wouldn't be surprised if you could still retrofit this to work with the dual heavy gauss and plonk in a bunch of smaller pulse lasers, that kind of thing, and just make it like a really ultra close-range death machine. You know, it's the kind of thing that once it does get into tanking range with you, you're going to have a really tough time fighting it. But in stock, it's okay. It can be hot. I mean, unfortunately on this one I was on a cold map, so I was lucky that I could, you know, probably be in a decent spot to use the most of the energy weapons without worrying about heat build-up. And this match, this match was one of those matches, guys. I just couldn't take it. I was getting hit from whatever side. My team, they were dying around me. I had to do something. I had to help them. So, you know, I took this 100-ton monster, and I thought I'll go on a flanking mission. That's what I thought I'd do. So I thought I'd hit the side, and I'd start heading up, and try and use those gauss rifles to good effect, because I was using it in the kind of snipey role, which probably isn't the way it's meant to be used, but those gauss rifles are kind of sniping weapons, a ranged sniping weapon. So yeah, it sort of fell on me. I thought, well, there's a mech up there, maybe I can go get that. I think it's a huntsman was over there that was really giving me a bit of a tough time. He was poking me, he was shooting everything. I was thinking, like, he's gonna eventually burn something down on me. He's got an LB as well, so he's taking his little shots, you know, he's poking and shooting, you know, getting them where he can, and that was wearing me down. And so, you know, at this point I was looking at it, the kill feed was not going well for my team. I think we had to disconnect quite early on, if not immediately. So the match was already 12-11. It was already on a massive downslide there. We were already spread out as well. I was acutely aware of this, that me going on my own over to this side of the map was probably not the best idea. I resigned myself. I resigned myself to basically being in a position where, like, well, you know, I've recorded the 6U, and the 6U was okay. I did good damage and stuff, got a few kills. Maybe if I can do that for this one, the footage will come out okay. And I'll have something that not only can I talk over, but I'll be able to, you know, show off a little bit of this variant of the Fafnir, you know, doing what it does best, you know, killing peeps. So this is the flanking mission. Of course, the ECM allows me to do this, because obviously normally you wouldn't be able to. So obviously the ECM, the Shadowcat, only realizes at the end it's like, oh fuck, there's a 100-tonner. He doesn't even fire at me. That's the thing. He just, I mean, like, he knows which side his bread's buttered, and he fucking runs. He gets out of there fast. He does not mess about. But the team is still on a bit of a lose, and I'm starting to feel again that if I don't do something, if I don't kill any of the, you know, if I don't get any of these kills, you know, morale's gonna drop. Everyone's gonna be like losing it. We pick up a kill. here and there, but we're still losing. It's not going well. And that Shadowcat is remarkably well built for the amount of firepower I was putting into it. Goddamn Shadowcats. We were capping the points, so you know we were ahead on points. We were getting there ahead on points, but it was getting desperate. Things were getting desperate. I could hear the comms. I could hear the worried cries. The losing talk. People already worrying over the comms so that they weren't going to go back and see their loved ones. They weren't going to be able to, you know, see the faces of their families and friends. They wouldn't be able to go back to the home world, wherever that was they were born in the inner sphere, and be able to touch the soil again, or the dirt, or the sand, or grass. You get the idea. No, they wouldn't be able to do any of these things. I couldn't stand to let that happen. I knew there was only one thing I could do. It's a one-shot. It's a power that I've had for a long time. But it was about time that I hit the button on Glorious Domination mode. That's it. It's rare you'll ever see the Glorious Domination mode, but it's there. It's always been there. It's never not been there. It's always kind of just been there, but there in a good way. Anyway, Massacres, no problem. Banshees, what the hell are they? We don't need to worry about these guys. The guys on the other team, on my team, are jubilant. They can hear it blasting over the comms. It inspires them also to glorious heights of victory. And then we go to our next target, the catapult. He doesn't know what hit him. He thinks he's safe. He thinks he's got LRMs to protect him, but that doesn't help because Glorious only highlights the enemies on the map. Everyone can see them. It's a pulse. They can't help but be infused with the power of Glorious Domination. And then, the Huntsman, he thinks he fancies his chances against me, but he doesn't realise that Glorious is active. And with that, he is torn apart, as we have to tear him limb from limb, the Glorious mode, raging within everybody, within me, and this shows that as Glorious Domination, I've always had it. I've always been there. I've been playing bad for you people. I've been hiding my skills, but Glorious Domination sometimes has to be shown. It has to be used to defeat these peasants of the battlefield. And with that, 5 kills. There may also be a version of this that doesn't have the Glorious thing. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.